Some people go to therapy and they think, well, I talked about my problems, I'm Gucci. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Monday. This is the second week of the event going on for the debut of Amber Canyon. And this is sleep session 843. So let's go through it together. So I actually do have a good catch I want to show you guys. So I'm very excited to show that off later. But I think I found a good dwubble. Thank you to the lovely viewer who helped me that dwubble rhymes with pebble. That has helped me so much. And I was like, pebble is such a cute name for a dwubble. So I'm gonna name my dwubble a pebble. So let's see what shows up today. Ooh, a bag on, trap hinge, another dwubble. When I saw Mawile here, I was like, ooh, that's nice. Really covers a lot of the Pokemon that I'm still looking for without having to venture off into different maps, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to go to Topalo for Paldean Wooper or the Tundra for Mawile. I don't know where else Mawile spawns at, but I mean, I've been really enjoying Amber Canyon so far. I'm taking it slow, I'm taking it day by day, but the Pokemon that are showing up have proved to be Pokemon that I still need to catch for my repertoire in order to expand my team a bit. But I am looking to grab that bag on up. Or should we do trap hinge? Let's see. I think I'm gonna do bag on. It'd be sick to have a Salamence on the team. I don't even know if they're good. To be honest, I still haven't looked at the stats of the new Pokemon or anything. But we got an Altaria there, since Altaria is a dragon type Pokemon. And you know what? I think that is going to be it for today's sleep session or snack session. So we're going to move on and we are going to do the whole weekly report and then choosing a map, the next map that we're going on. Can you guys guess? I'll leave it until I pick for you guys to guess. So we are max research rank, so that's why we're not getting any more EXP. But let's pick up our weekly mission before we leave. And let's see. I missed cooking 3 times. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I had a really busy week last week. And I didn't get to master 1, but that's okay. And I totally fell off on my incense mission for the week too, but we finished here at grade 2. So let's see what's in store for us. Oh, also thank you so much for the viewer who told me that the 5% thing that I got when I did the Pokédex goal was increasing 5% for each map. Like, it increased the cap. So thank you so much for saying that for me. I really appreciate it. I have to get back to your comment too. I try and I like to respond to every comment that you guys put. But this is week 122 that we just passed. Ultra 2 was what we finished with. I probably could have done better in regards to like berry farming, having berry specialists overnight, but I mean, we could probably do that this week. So this is where we are going to go this week again. I also had another viewer saying that RP doesn't really matter, it's more of an incentive. Whoa! My Snorlax is normal colored. Wow, what a contrast from before. I want salad. But yeah, the viewer told me that RP doesn't really matter. It's more like the game's way to incentivize you to like level up and use main skill seeds and stuff. And I do agree, but I do disagree a little bit as well, because I do notice that if you do have higher RP, it just means it's like helping. It's easier for your Snorlax to grow throughout the week in terms of like berry strength and everything, but it's not a requirement. But I do feel like in my experience, it does help a little more. Carries off a little bit of the weight and pressure of having to rely on like extra tasty or pot expanders in my experience. But speaking of pot expanders, our Magnezone triggered twice. Let's see if we have anything to make Ninja Salad. I don't know what the new salads look like, and I do not have enough for a Ninja Salad, so I'm okay with just doing whatever. Let's start cooking, let's add more ingredients, let's randomize it. So I'm gonna need more ginger, so I should take out my Larvitar. And what else? Let's take a look at our pantry after. Oh, and we got an extra tasty. I didn't get any extra tasty dishes on Sunday, but this is good. This pretty much as if we made our ninja salad with no extra THC on it. Oh, and as you can see, I did evolve my Dwebble into, I forgot what this one is called, but its little pebble became a ginormous rock, and it reminds me of the myth of Sisyphus carrying the weight of the world on his back for eternity. It's funny because it can put Golem on its back, and it's kind of a funny image to think about. But we are up at basic 4 now, making good progress in the beginning of the week because of that extra tasty dish. What a fantabulous way to start our Monday, right? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a good weekend as well. I hope the week ahead treats you well. Now let's take a look at my salads. So if I want to make a ninja salad, I'm really good. I think I can retire my Golem for the time being and swap in a ginger farmer. Still need large leeks and mushrooms, so I'll keep that there because I do find that they farm a little slow sometimes compared to how much I want for dishes. Oh, and yeah, you could see all my catches there, but let's do level. We're going to add in Liv, who farms me ginger. Haven't been leveling up Liv since I'm not in a rush to get it to level 60, since as you see at 60 it gives me sausages. But at level 42, with the amount of ginger I get, it's been perfect, you know, so I haven't felt the need to really optimize or min-max in getting a better larvitar. Now should I leave Ollie in there? I think I'm gonna swap Ollie out for my Gengar just to start holding on to some more mushrooms before I decide to move along with that. But I do want to show you what I got. So I think last time we were at Dwebble and Trapinch, so let's take a look at this Bagon. It's a berry specialist, but as you could see, the stats are all not what I would want. I don't need skill trigger on it, although it does look very enticing because of the cooking power up. So actually no, I think I would want to keep that there. Gives your pot 7 more space, but wouldn't replace a dedicated pot expander, but definitely a really good to have, especially if you have a berry finding on it. You're finding 3 berries, and then the extra benefit would be that it's proccing its skill more often. The helping speed is really great. Inventory up M and inventory up L. It's gonna have a lot of berry space before it gets full. If it were berry finding, so that means it could hold more chances to roll a trigger. Then we have skill trigger S as well. Now, I don't think this is terrible. I just would really one of my criterias, and everyone has criterias or hard no's for themselves, but when it comes to berry finding Pokemon, one of my criterias is the bare minimum is berry finding S on it. Now let's take a look at this Bagon. This is the ingredients. So potato, ginger to potatoes. It is a neutral nature, but the sub-skills are inventory up L, skill trigger M, ingredient finding M, skill level up M, and ingredient up S. So it kind of looks like this, to be honest, except ingredient finding M got swapped for helping speed M for these Pokemon. So yeah, not what I'm looking for. Gonna become candy. But this, my crystal. So as you could see, now I know in my previous videos I said, or in my go-to guide, and the thing about go-to guides is sometimes they become future-proof or sometimes they become a little bit obsolete, or just my opinions change over time as well. And I said to me, for myself, the standard that I hold when it comes to skill-based Pokemon is that I don't really care if they're mixed ingredient, if it meant that the sub-skill and nature is 100% to the T what I'm looking for. Now in this case, as you could see, it is mono smooth. That looks like a guava. I was gonna say it's a mono guava, but it is a mono avocado. And these are the sub skills. So it is brave nature, speed of help up. It is skill level up M for the first skill, inventory up S, ingredient finding M, inventory up L, and then ingredient finding S. So for a skill-based Pokemon though, I was like, you know what? I think I could settle for this for the time being, because this looks like above average until I find something with better sub-skills natures, more skilled triggers in there maybe. And then with that gamble though, I don't even know if I'm going to get a mono ingredient list, but for the time being this looks like a good healthy middle ground compromise. So you know what, I'm going to plug it into Rain on X. It's been a while since I've been on this website, but let's see what Rain on X says about this crystal of mine. Alright guys, these are the results. I'm laughing because I'm like, holy cow, I'm so far off on like what's objectively considered good. It's been a minute since I've been like really like a little sweaty in this game. But at the same time, when it comes to these calculators, don't take it as an objective truth. Every Pokemon will serve a purpose for some time being until another opportunity comes. So, with that being said, am I still going to use this? I think so. And then when an opportunity comes or another one comes along that's better, I will invest in it. But for the time being, I mean, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is, right? So yeah, that is kind of like the mindset I have to it now. Honestly, old me would have looked at this after Rain on X and be like, I'm not going to use it. To be so for real with you. But yeah, that's what the situation is looking like. And let's move on to some more fun things of the video. Oh, actually, before I go on to that, let's continue our dailies. Let's pick up our rewards. So we can still do missions from week 1. So it looks like I can still complete that incense mission, which is good. And we got some more goodies here. 8k if we cook 12 times. And if I do master 3, I get the Trapinch incense here. And no incense for week 2 missions. All right, moving along, let's pick up our sleep points. And then let's go on to exchange. And let's see what our luck looks like for today at the lottery. A Poke Biscuit, yay! Perfect. And now we are going to go to everyone's favorite moment of the video. It's a research community time with, of course, my drink of the day. Today I'm using white honey, my pinwheel coffee pot that I made into a double shot, cinnamon, Malden flaky sea salt, ice with oat milk from Oatly, the barista brand. And this is my second to last pinwheel pod. I really enjoy it. So I think the next time I go to Nespresso, I'm going to pick up like 2 more sleeves to enjoy the pepperminty taste during the holiday. And I like to recycle my Nespresso pods, so I do have a little bag that is getting pretty full. So it's almost time to stock up again. And I'm just so excited to take a sip. Now the white honey I have in here, I've been holding on to because I was like, there's only a little bit left and I don't want to finish it. But I'm also trying to learn to just enjoy life and not be in this mindset of like scarcity or like scared to use things up. And yeah, so there's that. I know some of you guys can relate too, but yeah, cheers to this beautiful Monday. Can you believe the month is almost over? Wow, cheers to that. Oh my god, it's so good. Look, I like making my own syrups, and the banana syrup was really good. I made it twice. So I've had it for like, I've been having banana syrup lattes for like the past 3 weeks probably. But the white honey, oh my gosh, there's something so good about the white honey, and I really hope I can find more white honey here where I live. I haven't found any yet, and regular honey just doesn't do it the same. But the white honey just adds for like this beautiful sweetness and creaminess that's so hard to describe. The taste is neutral, but it just goes so well with the coffee. Any roast I've tried, it just goes so well. I'm gonna take another sip. So good. And the flavor of peppermint is like really in the background. It's not too overwhelming, especially for those who don't like too much of a peppermint. It doesn't really leave a peppermint taste in your mouth either. Just a little like refreshing air, but not too much where it burns like toothpaste. You know what I mean? And I love it. I love it. I love seasonal stuff like this. I'm so excited for Christmas. And I had such a good week last week. Honestly, my days were full with just social interaction. So I met with like 5 different people last week. And I didn't realize how sociable I've become and how much I enjoy talking with people that are just like on the same wavelength as me, you know? Where the conversations just move so easily and you're just having so much fun. The hours pass by and you're like, holy cow, where has the time gone? You know what I mean? And I don't feel drained afterwards too. I feel like that's the most important part. I don't feel drained afterwards. I just feel so like excited and oh my god, Creedler! Congrats on your shiny Vulpix. It looks like there's a filter on this photo because everything is just so like sepia color, you know? Sepia? Yeah, I just feel like my heart is so full and I'm so happy. And you know what? I thought that it's only been 2 months since my breakup. But yesterday was actually the 3-month mark. And I was like, 3 months? I can't believe 3 months has already passed. And I thought it would be so much more sad at 3 months. You know, so it's like I struggle with this feeling of like, am I really okay? Or is this a fluke or something? But then again, I feel like when I think that way, I'm minimizing all the work I really put into myself during the 1 month and 1 week, especially post breakup. Like 1 week post breakup, I was fully locked in. I explored all my feelings, all my emotions. I revisited everything during the relationship to see where I felt short, or maybe things that I just shouldn't have let happen, and how that affected my mindset now. And then like learning about things I still need to undo, and maybe habits that I've picked up during the relationship that were so unhealthy for me that I needed to work on moving forward in order to let go of anxiously attached tendencies. And so I did that. I really fully tried to put in the work to understand where I was emotionally and where I want to be moving forward. So understanding the thought process, learning how to name the emotion, understand where the emotion is coming from, what sort of fears are the underlying things of those that I struggled with, and how to retrain my nervous system to feel safe again. The biggest exercise that I had to work with myself post breakup is learning to trust my feelings again, and learning to trust my gut feeling, especially when it comes to what feels safe. Because throughout some interactions of my week, I've come to realize that when it came to really safe interactions where I felt safe and calm, my initial reaction is, what's the catch? Like, are you trying to manipulate me? Are you trying to just say things I want to hear? Are you pretending to be nice to me? Is your true intentions and true colors going to like show? Or are you only pretending to be vulnerable with me because you're trying to get something out of me, you know? And then I realized like, yo girl, you gotta chill. Like, not everyone is out there to like get you. But then that just gave me more insight to where my emotional state was, and like how much anxiety I was holding on to my body, and how normalized that way of thinking was to me, that I didn't even realize it wasn't actually normal or healthy at all. So what I really had to do was sit with myself in those moments, and like every time I felt the feeling of anxiety, I had to like take a step back and be like, okay, you're feeling anxious right now. Why are you feeling anxious? And then it would be like, oh, because I feel a little scared. Like, why am I feeling scared? Because I feel like maybe I'm losing my friend because I said something wrong. And then I try to work with that feeling, and then I walk myself through a resolution where I'm like, you know what? I at least know where this is coming from. I think I might have offended my friend, and I want to talk to her about it, and I'm anxious, and that's okay. But I don't have to dwell on this and let it affect my day-to-day and my entire mood for the day. And that's worked so much, where like the first time I did that, it was like a sigh of relief. And then the next time I find myself in that thinking, I quickly shut it down. And now like it doesn't even pass as a thought anymore. And like that's the little stuff that you need to do with yourself in order to practice like resilience and just teach your nervous system to calm down again. And I've just been feeling so much more calm. And then at the same time, I'm like, is this a fluke? Like, am I just on some like buzz right now? And I did some research, and you know, like it led me to really come to the conclusion that I need to stop discrediting myself, because the way I show up and the way people show up in reflection to how I show up is enough to tell me that I've put in the work to get there. Because if I show up the way I am and I offend people, then that's how that I should know that there's still something I need to work on. But if I show up authentically and people show up as authentically and lean into that authenticity and like are able to be comfortable to show themselves as well, that kind of should signal to me that I create a safe space enough for them to feel safe. And if they don't feel safe, it's more of a reflection on them that there's something going on that they still need to work out, whether they have like avoidant tendencies or anxious tendencies. So learned a lot about that. And then, you know, like I feel like when you're in a long relationship, you kind of forget who you were before the relationship, and you just think that the way you are now is like how you always were. And I had to reflect on that as well, and I'm like, you know what, a lot of the old tendencies or a lot of the tendencies I have now never showed up in my past relationships. So it was interesting for me to realize that I was never like this, and it was circumstances on top of like circumstances that created this environment where it fostered the perfect storm of anxiety for me. And having to like undo all of that, unpack all of that on my own was tough. Should I have seen my therapist? Yes. But at the same time, I'm so glad that the 2 years of therapy that I've done with her has given me such a good mindset and mind frameworks and tools, grounding phrases, in order for me to like take off the training wheels and navigate that for the first time in my life on my own, you know? So not only did it show that I put in the work in therapy, but I really actively put in the work thereafter. Because, you know, you could take a horse to a pond, but you can't make it drink. Some people go to therapy and they think, well, I talked about my problems, I'm Gucci. No, you're not Gucci. You're more like plastic bag, you know? Like you're holding on to all these rocks and like the rocks are falling out of the bag because you're just like dragging it along. You think like, look at all the stuff I unpacked in therapy in my plastic bag, and then like all the rocks are falling out for everyone to see, but you're the only one not seeing because you're not looking back, you know? And that's like how I think about it. And I'm so glad that not only was I so open and honest in my therapy sessions, but I really took to heart everything she had to tell me. Each time after, I would introspect, I would think about it, I would truly digest it. And I think the thing I love about myself the most is like I give so much thought into everything that I do, even when it comes to what people tell me, and especially when it came to what my therapist had to tell me in therapy. And I always do that because I always want to be like the best version of myself for myself. And the drip trickling effect is that everyone in my life gets to benefit from that. So all that to say, wow, I'm so proud of my mindset and how far I've come in order to overcome those things on my own, you know? But your girl is gonna go back to therapy. I actually reached out to my therapist because I was like, I really want to talk to her about everything that has gone so far and what I've done, and like just show her where my mindset is now and what I've realized and how things are right now. And I just want to get her input because, you know, she's known me for 2 years. She's seen everything. She knows about my life. She knows about my upbringing. She knows like everything I had going on. So I want to see whether or not she can truly assess whether I actually put in the growth or if there's any blind spots that I'm missing or like things that I didn't catch that she could bring to my awareness, because I would love to know that and I would love to work on it a bit more, you know? So I'm just so excited. She got back to me this morning. She asked me when I was available. So I'm really hoping that I could see her either tomorrow on Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. I mean, if not, then Thursday, Friday morning works for me too. But I'm just so excited to catch up and like tell her everything. And I feel like I'm in a place now where like when I talk about my breakup, I don't cry anymore, you know? I see it as a beautiful experience, and I'm like, had I not been through that, I really wouldn't have become the person I am now. And I just feel so proud of myself that I didn't lose myself, you know? If anything, like I'm still myself, but like unleashed, you know? And it's beautiful to see. And sometimes when I'm watching my videos, I'm like, wow, I just look so happy, because I truly do feel happy. And I think the most important thing is that I had fears of whether or not I'd be feeling lonely living alone, but I don't. I feel so full. I have so much friends that are supportive. I have like people I talk to every day that I have so much fun talking to. My anxious tendencies are no longer there, and it just feels like life is so clear and I feel so clear, you know? But yeah, anyway, so I had a lot of talking with friends, just catching up with life and like gossiping, talking about stuff, laughing about stuff, eating good food and snacks. And yeah, that I was so tired by the time Sunday came along, after like meeting 5 different people during that week, that I just fell asleep before 11 p.m. on a Saturday, and that's so unlike me. But at the same time, I loved it, you know? I loved it because I just felt like so full and I had so much fun. Sunday was a really chill day. I did a lot of my chores and then I streamed. We did a Sunday fun day, which was a lot of fun. You guys seem to like my music choice, so I did share that with Spotify, like my Spotify playlist with you guys. One thing I like to take pride of is like being able to curate the vibes when it comes to my music and playlist. So I was so happy when you guys were like, hey, drop the playlist, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. Now this week, the number one thing I'm looking forward to is meeting with my therapist. That's going to be so fun. Catching up with her too. It's been like almost a year since I've last seen her. We stopped initially because, I mean, at 1 year into my sessions with her, we got into a good place where it's like, okay, I kind of was able to get through the issues that I initially came for, which was like my family trauma and stuff. And resentment that I had towards my mother. And then I just continued, like, she was like, we can either continue going on with these sessions or you can decide to just stop here. And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to continue. I think it'll be so beneficial for me to just like continue and talk to her about like what's going on in my days and weeks during the time we were apart. And doing so was so helpful because it brought about other things in my dynamic when it comes to friendships that I didn't realize, and that helped me be a better friend and better partner throughout that process as well, but also taught me things outside of my childhood trauma that I didn't realize carried on to my everyday life, you know? So yeah, continued that for another year before I had to move to Singapore and she went on mat leave. And funny how life brings us back kind of full circle, and I'm just so excited. But I also have a heels dance class later today, and I'm super stoked about that. I'm getting a little closer to a friend that I used to see on and off, but she's been coming more consistently. So she's so sweet, and every time I see her I'm so happy, and she's like always so fun. So really happy. Usually, so I do heels dance, okay, and it's usually more like a sensual style of dance, you know. I mean, it helps me learn to feel confident in my body in terms of like, you know, feeling sexy about yourself. And I feel like when you grow up in a conservative household that is Asian, like you kind of feel awkward about that stuff, you know. But that has helped me so much. But the main thing that it helped me is to get out of my head, because I used to be so embarrassed and I'm like, oh my god, everyone's looking at me, I'm so shy. But now I'm like front row, serious, like I'm there to learn to dance and I'm there to have fun too. So it helps me to just like let my hair down a little bit and have so much fun. It's also challenging in the sense that we go through different types of genres of dance. So it's not always sensual. Like right now we're doing a jazz funk style, and that kind of is like my least favorite. But the choreo for this class is actually pretty fun, so I find myself having fun. We're practicing a lot on stability since there's moves where we have to balance ourselves on one leg and then the other. So on top of that, it's like learning to balance yourself in heels while you're dancing. So that's challenging but plenty of fun as well. But yeah, the dance itself is fun, and I find myself, I'm like, you know what, it's not the genre I usually like to learn in class, but I'm having so much fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. And then Saturday I'm going out with friends, and that's going to be so fun. Sunday I have dinner with friends, catching up with some high school friends I haven't seen in a while, and one of them gave birth earlier this year, so I get to see the little precious baby angel, bundle of joy, gift of God, miracle of life, and I'm just so excited to hold a baby. I love children, I love babies, and this might be weird, but like unless you've experienced before, this is not going to be weird to you, but like the smell of a newborn, like the head or like the baby breath, so good. And baby breath, I always think of like baby's breath, like the actual breath of a baby, or the flower baby breath, which is really cute too. So yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to this week. I hope you guys have things that you're looking forward to as well. I also want to wish you a happy second week for the Amber Canyon debut. Also, reminder that this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So reach out to one of your homies, be like, hey man, hope you're doing well, thinking about you, missing you. I'm always here for whatever. Or maybe take it as a moment to try practicing to learn how to lean into your male friendships, where if they say something, like ask a question about it. I've seen so many memes where it's like boyfriends would hang out with guys and then like they go back to their girlfriend and like, oh yeah, so like Jimmy just broke up with his girlfriend, and then the girl's like, do you know what happened? And they're like, no. And it's funny because the communication style amongst men, or some men and women, is so different, because like we ask a lot of details, you know, like that's how we like lean in and learn a little bit more about your inner circle. And it's just kind of funny how some guys don't do that, but I'm telling you, it's so enriching when you do, and I encourage you to do that. So I mean, if your friend talks about something as simple as like, yeah, I've been learning how to play the guitar, and be like, oh yeah man, that's awesome, like how did you start, what songs have you learned so far, where did you get your guitar, stuff like that, you know, something that kind of piques curiosity. I feel like when it comes to conversation, You feel so good when people are curious about you, because when you drop something, that's a bit of connection. So like that's a moment where when someone says something, you take that opportunity to lean in with curiosity, and that helps you connect a little bit more. So for example, if I in passing say, yeah, I've been like watching a lot of Netflix lately, and you're just like, oh, that's cool. No connection there, right? Think of it as a Persona 5 game, or a Persona game, or like any game where each answer and interaction strengthens a bond, okay? So think of it that way with your friendships. So your friend drops something, you have options. If you say something super neutral, they're probably gonna maintain like a neutral friendship. But if you lean into it and they feel good about it, like that's like a plus 50 in their friendship meter. You know what I mean? Like, so think of it that way when it comes to it. Think of it like a Persona 5 game. Or sorry, I keep saying Persona 5 because that's like the latest game, but yeah, think of it like that, and you're gonna see how much your friendships blossom and how much more connected you feel with them. But yeah, Men's Mental Health Awareness month of November, it is almost over. Have you guys done anything for yourself or for your friends for the month of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? I want to know. I want to know if you guys are accountable on that regard, or if you've just been like whatever about it. You know what I mean? Also, if you guys are interested in joining a fun Discord community, don't forget to check the description bar, because you can find the link to that. It is very, very fun. I promise you. Everyone's great. Everyone's so funny. My favorite thing of my day is when I go through the Discord and I see everyone's GIFs, because your GIF game is so good. Like, I laugh so much because like, how are you guys so funny? I love that you guys are so funny, you know, and you bring a smile on my face whenever I browse the Discord and see all the funny memes and GIFs that you guys have. But yeah, so join us in the Discord, join the community. There's many different channels. I also have a requested channel, so if ever you want to put like requests or anything there, you can do that, or reach out to me by DMs too. Usually my DMs are pretty like open, and I answer appropriate messages and questions, of course, so please don't be scary. I mean, I feel like I don't need to say that because I've never had like maybe one instance, but that's it. I mean, there always will be that like one instance, but it's whatever. I don't let it get to me. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I really appreciate it. Check out all my other social media links. You could find them in the description. Really would appreciate it if you check it out and give me a follow there too. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun, guys. Bye.